Your 20s are supposedly the best years of your life. You'll experience the amazing highs, the challenging lows, and create unforgettable memories during this defining decade. On this journey of self-discovery and personal growth, there's so many routes to choose from. Which one will you choose? As a recent grad and 22-year-old as of last month, I've kind of been on this journey of finding myself. Up to this point, I've spent 80% of my life in school, and so now that I'm not in school anymore, I'm kind of left with the question, what do I do now?
Millennials have lower rates of employment overall, they have lower earnings, lower savings, and then layered on top of that, they have debt.
They're forgoing college and they're forgoing high school to move to LA and make a ton of money by dancing on TikTok.
Adults in their 20s to 30s are turning to mom and dad for financial assistance as adulting becomes too hard.
I think all of us 20-somethings are kind of in the same boat of just trying to figure it out. And I don't have all the answers, but I do have 6 tips that I've been applying to my life and I hope is helpful to you. Number 1, find a hobby. If you simply go to work, come home, eat, scroll through social media, sleep, and do it again, you're bound to be miserable. So find something that genuinely interests you, like crocheting, dance classes, reading, pottery. There's so many options. Just find something that brings you joy to do. On the topic of hobbies, I mentioned reading. So number 2 is read books or listen to audiobooks. Books may not be everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. But because there's so many genres, I feel like you're bound to find something that you like. Young adult novels to self-help and finance, business, and nonfiction. There's one book that I recently listened to called Atomic Habits, which a lot of people talk about. This book truly changed my life. Truly. This book talks about how to build good habits in our life, we just have to grow 1% each day, and over time we'll master that habit. So for example, with going to the gym, you're not going to see your results in 1 month, but as you keep up that habit of going to the gym for even over a year, you start to see the real progress. We build habits little by little. It's not something that just happens instantly. This generation is very focused on instant gratification and seeing things happen at the snap of a finger. And that's just not how life works. Everything is a process. So if you can start today, if you can start now, over time, that thing will start to grow. Repetition of the same habit every day becomes ingrained to the point where we'll even forget that we even started this habit. But I really love this book and I would recommend all of my 20-somethings to listen to it or read it. The next tip I recommend is to travel. Travel is one of the most eye-opening things you can do, in my opinion. You get to experience not only a new country, a new place, you get to experience new languages and dialects, new foods and culture, and most importantly, the new people that you meet will truly change your life. But even if you can't get to a different country, try a different state, try a different city. You don't have to leave the country to travel or experience something new. Go try a new restaurant in your city. Go drive 30 minutes outside of your town to try something different. Traveling is such a broad category. It is literally what you make of it. So traveling doesn't have to be this you spending thousands of dollars to stay in a luxurious resort. No, if you want to stay in a hostel with other people, or if you want to stay in a nice hotel, or if you want to camp, I don't know. It can mean a lot of different things to different people. The next tip I have for you guys is to spend time alone. Now, if you've been watching me and my past videos, you know I'm very big on this. Spending time alone is such a necessary part, especially in our 20s, and finding who we are, because so often we're told what to like. And so spending time alone in our 20s, it's an important part of knowing who we are. It's also a big part in making meaningful relationships with other people and just investing time back into yourself so that you can be the best version of yourself for yourself and for others. One thing I'd suggest is taking yourself out on dates, doing activities, and even traveling alone, as all of those build character, help you really identify who you are. My next tip is to know where your money is going. At this point, If you don't have a spending tracker, you need to get one. If you just swipe your card, not even knowing how much money you have, you just swipe your card without looking, you have a problem. Finances is such a big part of our 20s now that we're out of school. A lot of us have to pay bills, student loans, car loans, other bills. I recommend keeping track of where your money goes. For me personally, I only use credit cards for my purchases and I make sure to pay those off at the end of every month. That has been helping me build credit. It's also helped me accumulate points so that I can book free flights and free hotel stays. So that's a bonus tip. I recommend everyone in their 20s invest in something. Real estate, index funds, the stock market, Roth IRAs, 401ks. There's so many different ways you can invest. I'm no expert, but I would highly suggest that you invest in something because the older we get, the more money we're losing out on in the long run. So if you can start right now, that would be your best bet. And my last and final tip is to stop comparing your life to others. I know in this age of social media, with everyone's life on display, it can seem like other people have it all together. But I can promise you they do not. They do not. Don't get me wrong. I think social media can be a great tool for learning, for entertainment purposes, getting inspiration. At the same time, if used incorrectly, it can definitely cause depression and a lot of mental health issues. So stop romanticizing these people's lives. You don't know them. There's a saying that says, comparison is the thief of joy. So if you want to get anywhere in this life, you have to look within.